Have you ever felt lost? Really lost, even when everything on the outside seems perfectly fine. You're busy, you're productive, but you don't feel fulfilled. You're constantly moving, but it feels like you're not actually getting anywhere. That deep sense of confusion, that feeling of being adrift, it's not random. There are very real, very clear reasons why we feel this way. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and expose them. Let's start with a big one. You're living on autopilot. Think about it. When was the last time you consciously designed your day, your week, or your life? For most of us, we just fall into routines. We wake up, go to work, come home, watch something, sleep, and repeat. We do things because that's what we did yesterday. Living without intention, without asking why am I doing this, slowly carves out a feeling of emptiness inside. Then there's the comparison trap. Social media is a highlight reel, and we're constantly scrolling through it, feeling like we're falling behind. You're looking at your chapter 1 and measuring it against someone else's chapter 20. This constant comparison is a thief. It steals your clarity, your joy, and your peace of mind, leaving you feeling inadequate and lost. This leads to another crucial point. You might not even know what you want. Seriously, we get so caught up in what we think we should want, or what others want for us, that we never pause to ask ourselves what truly matters. What sets your soul on fire? What would you do if no one was judging? Without a clear direction, all your effort feels scattered and meaningless. And what happens when you do have a choice to make? Fear kicks in. The fear of making the wrong choice can be completely paralyzing. So, what do? You choose nothing. You stay put. And before you know it, staying stuck becomes your default setting. An action feels safer than a potential mistake, but it's the fastest way to remain lost. Instead of acting, you overthink. Your brain spins in circles, analyzing every possible outcome, every potential pitfall. Thinking feels productive. It feels safe. Action, on the other hand, feels risky. But here's the secret. Clarity doesn't come from thinking. Clarity comes from doing. It's only after you take that first step that the next one becomes clear. Of course, taking that step often means embracing discomfort. Real growth, the kind that changes your life, always feels uncomfortable at first. It's unfamiliar territory, so we naturally avoid it. We stick to what's known, what's predictable, but avoiding discomfort keeps your life small. It keeps you locked in a familiar room when there's a whole world waiting outside. We also have a tendency to seek external validation. We look to others for approval, for permission, for a sign that we're on the right track. When your confidence is tied to other people's opinions, your sense of direction becomes incredibly unstable. One negative comment can throw you completely off course. Remember this, approval is not a compass. And deep down, you probably know this. There's an inner voice, an intuition, that's quietly telling you what needs to change. But listening to that voice is hard. It often tells us to do the scary, uncomfortable things. So, we ignore it. We turn up the volume on distractions. This creates a deep inner conflict. A tug of war between what you know is right and what you're actually doing. This chaos is amplified when you don't have clear priorities. When everything feels important, then nothing truly is. You're pulled in a dozen different directions, trying to do it all, and ending up feeling overwhelmed and ineffective. A lack of clear priorities is a recipe for mental clutter and a surefire way to feel lost. Consider this too. Are you consuming more than you're creating? We live in an age of endless consumption. We scroll through feeds, binge watch shows, and consume information 24/7. While there's nothing wrong with it in moderation, constant consumption can dull your sense of purpose. Creation, on the other hand, whether it's art, a project, a business, or even just a meaningful conversation, gives life meaning and momentum. To hear that inner voice and find your priorities, you need to spend time alone. Real, intentional time alone. Without your phone, silence brings answers. It allows your thoughts to settle and the important stuff to rise to the surface. Constant distraction just delays that process, keeping you in a state of confused busyness. When you do start to find some direction, be patient. You might expect instant clarity, a lightning bolt moment where everything makes sense. But it rarely works that way. Direction builds slowly, brick by brick, one small action at a time. Impatience will make you quit just before you have a breakthrough. And through it all, you have to manage self-doubt. That nagging voice that says you can't do this or who are you to try? Self-doubt is a poison to commitment. It weakens your resolve. But confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build one small, consistent win at a time. To move forward, you also have to let go of the past. If you're still carrying the weight of old mistakes and the regrets, they'll cloud your vision of the future. You can't drive forward if you're only looking in the rearview mirror. Forgiving yourself and learning the lesson is what restores your focus. Finally, it all comes down to taking responsibility. It's easy to blame circumstances or other people for why you feel lost, but that gives away your power. Taking responsibility feels heavy at first, but it is the only path to regaining control. It's the ultimate act of empowerment that allows you to choose your direction. Feeling lost isn't a final destination. It's not a sign that you're broken. It's a signal. It's the beginning of awareness, an invitation to look deeper and make a change. It's your mind telling you it's time for a new map. Fuel your mind with better inputs, and choose your direction, one single, intentional step at a time. Thanks for watching.